Welcome to Webinar Wednesday. This is our opportunity to get together about once a month and talk about different techniques, different tactics, different things that I hope you can use in your business, in your organizations, and really across whatever profession you are pursuing as a vegan entrepreneur, or maybe you're a vegan leader out there. And what I want to do today is inspire you. What I want to do today is give you some food for thought. And also, what I want to hopefully have today is a great, engaging, and back and forth conversation. I have a lot of slides today to walk through, but that's really just to make sure I cover and talk about as many things that are important to everyone out there. But this is really an opportunity for me to hang out with my community today. So feel free to ask questions as I go. Feel free to post a comment if this is something you've considered or thought about, or if you need clarification at any point in time, please let me know because I do want to make sure you walk away with all the information you need. So today is about smart discounts. It's about how to kind of craft deals and drive urgency and action, but also do it in a way that many of us feel comfortable with. Because for many of us, we're in our businesses to drive change, to do good things. And at times, we have to find a balance between marketing tactics and things that we read about that also fits our brand, fits our vision, and the way we like to communicate and connect with people. So as a vegan myself for over 15 years, I'm really passionate about that. I'm really passionate about not just the vegan movement and vegan businesses, but how do we market and position our businesses in a way that aligns with our ethics and our way of communicating and using these marketing tactics. So, the biggest thing I want you to walk away with today is the idea that I really want you to take a strategic approach to any promotional pricing. Now, when I say that, or what I mean by that, is that when you think about discounts or deals or promotions or incentives, we have to think about what it means for your business, because a discount does mean you're selling it at a reduced rate. A discount does mean that you may be kind of compromising or changing the financials. And we have to make sure that the plan that you put in place in the end actually works, meaning it still keeps your business profitable, it still makes the offer worth it. Because what can happen at times is we get nervous. We're like, oh, not enough people are buying. I got to sell this thing and I got to just do a big sale to make it happen. But if you do that big sale and at the end of the day, we run the numbers, and you didn't make more money or sell more tickets or reach a new audience or provide an opportunity for people to buy your product or service earlier, then we might have missed the mark on that promotion. It might have felt good to see those sales come in, but once we look after the fact, we might have found that it didn't put us where we thought we were going to be. So I want to do that today is talk about how do we make sure we plan things in advance? How do we get there so that those discounts are happening? Now, there's two sides of the coin. When we talk about discounts, there is the traditional discount, the 20% off, 10% off, $10 off, BOGO deals, and so forth. And those have a great place in many of our businesses. We'll talk a little bit about different types of businesses that it works for. We'll talk about some tips as well as any questions that you guys might have. But one thing I want to talk about when we talk about that strategic approach to getting discounts is one thing I want you to do is think about your discounts throughout the year. For many of us, we kind of live discount to discount. We're like, oh, such and such holiday is coming up. What should I do? How should I do it? And the reality is, for many of us, we're in business every year, year after year. Longevity. I'm hoping many of you are going to be in business for years and years and years to come. So the idea is, instead of being reactionary or instead of waiting until we get close to that next holiday mark, one thing I want you to start thinking about is, what's your strategy all year round? Are there kind of seasonal holidays that you're going to want to celebrate and offer discounts for? Whether it's New Year's, whether it's Black Friday, Cyber Week, whether it's just federal holidays that are out there or whether it's fun holidays like National Pie Day, where we all have such a great time with featuring vegan pies. And, if you're a restaurant selling vegan pies, I would say, hey, that's a big day for you to do some type of promotion as well. So think about those. And I don't want to make this sound burdensome. I don't want to make it sound like, oh my goodness, Stephanie wants me to sit down and look at every single holiday that's out there and figure out what I'm going to do. That's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is sit down and think about what are the big dates for you, for your business? What are the big times you want to communicate? And that may only be 4 holidays in a year. That may only be certain activities like an anniversary for your business, or maybe it's a founder's birthday. And therefore, what are those pinnacle times in the year that you really want to promote or use discounts to incent activity in your business is a very strategic way to think about your business. Now, I know for some of us, promotions are depending on what we're offering or a new product. So we'll talk about how to do that for a new product. But for many of us, we should have a standard plan on what that promotion is going to look like. And as we're wrapping up the year and we're running into the holiday season, this is a great time to start thinking about that. The other side of the coin is, what do you do so you don't have to give it away? What do you do so you don't have to keep doing 20% and 30% or even huge discounts that just eat away at your offers? One of the things I love to do in a business is inspire people to think of incentives as ways to get people to sign up to purchase or get access to your products. And three kind of options that I've seen work really, really well and I think are just great across the board, whether you're selling a product, a service, or you're selling something in between. Maybe you're a cookbook author. Maybe you're selling services like online courses versus coaching programs. All of those options can use this approach. So I don't want anyone to think today that these recommendations are outside of your reach because they only would work if it was a physical product or it only would work if it was this or that. This even works for things like even ticket sales, as an example. So let's talk about these options. And I want to give you a little bit of background on why I chose these options and why they tend to work. Flexible payments are one of my favorite things to offer, especially during the holiday time period. Because for a lot of people, they still want to purchase, they want to participate, they want to buy your products or services. But the challenge is it's November and December, and maybe they're preparing to buy gifts for family and friends. Maybe they're saving up budget for that kind of gift giving time. And what I want you to, I guess, feel or see or hear is, oh, I just had a comment. Someone saying they're having trouble with sound. Anyone else having trouble with sound? Just want to make sure that we're not having an issue. I'm going to check my sound really quick. Yeah, it should be okay. Just let me know in the comments if anyone else is having trouble hearing me. Then I'll repeat. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Jenny, let me know maybe if you have a speaker, try to connect it or reconnect it. Maybe that'll be a way to fix that. Sorry about that, Jenny. Let me know if there's anything else I can do. All right. So flexible payments, why it's one of my favorite things to do. Anyone that offers things like online courses, anyone that offers anything like coaching programs. For a lot of us, we have a set price. For a lot of people, it may be a bigger price point. Maybe someone's paying you $500, $600, maybe even an online course that's $250. What I like to do during a specific time of the year, me personally, I'd love to do this for Black Friday and Cyber Week, but you can do this at any point of the year as well, is instead of discounting a product or service, especially when I do this for my online courses often. What I'll do is I'll give people an extended payment plan. So it's a lot easier for them to sign up. Many of our courses used to be about $250. So if our course is about $250, what I would do is give someone 10-month payment plan. Now that seems really long and seems like, oh my goodness, that's a really long time to recoup that cost. But what I found over time is that a lot of people wanted to get started with my courses, but they just didn't have the funds, especially during the holiday season. So, by me creating an option where someone could jump into a $250 course now, but only have to pay $25 a month for 10 months, that worked really well for my audience. We're going to do the same thing probably this year for some of our newer courses. We're doing some compact courses and mini courses that'll probably be around like 150 or $100. And what we'll do is we'll do the same thing. We'll extend that out. So maybe it's $15 a month, $20 a month, just something that makes it very easy for a person to sign up now. If you have a coaching program where you work with people over 3 months or 6 months, instead of them doing a deposit or paying all of it up front, you might have them pay you over the 6 months and they pay you every single month. Now, they should pay you at the beginning of that month before you start with your coaching services or program. But the idea is by breaking that out into extended payments, you're giving people an option to be able to jump in. The other reason I love to do flexible payments is I like to do it only once a year. So, therefore, it has that urgency, it has that specialty around the idea that it isn't available all the time. It isn't something that I offer all the time. I have some programs that we offer that are only annual programs. You only have an annual price. But during the holidays, I will break that down into a monthly offering. And by breaking that down into a monthly offering, I'm giving something special once again. And that's the thing is it doesn't have to be a percentage off for people to be excited about an incentive or for a person to say, I'm going to sign up now. Often, what you want to do is unlock some level of convenience or ability for people to sign up now when their intention is to be a part of it, but maybe the timing isn't right. So, think about that when you're thinking about your products. Now, for some of you, you may have smaller products. My maybe you're doing things like skincare products or purses or things like that. What I often tell people, the flip side of this is maybe offering some type of subscription deal. Same thing. You may only offer it once a year or maybe twice a year. And the idea is that people could get into a subscription plan, get products or services delivered to them on a frequent basis. And by those being delivered to them on a frequent basis, they're getting a discount by signing up for that subscription offer. The other thing I love to do is bonus offers. I think a lot of times when we think of driving incentive, we think we have to do less. But often the benefit of a discount or a deal is sometimes sweetening the pot, as I say, or sweetening the deal. And what that means is adding a little bit more if someone signs up today or signs up within a specific time. So, therefore, there's a benefit for them to sign up early, not just a revenue loss for you. And what I love to be able to do, especially when you have products, is offering something additional. Maybe you're going to give someone a free sample. So, if they order anything over $50, anything over $40, they get an additional product. And what's great about this, when you have a physical product, is what you can do is put a new product in that box. It's a great way to introduce a new product that you're trying to get interest in, trying to get feedback on, and also drive awareness on by putting that in the box with products that people already order. What it allows you to do is introduce your product to somebody who's already invested. And offering that as a one time deal or offering that a couple of times a year is another great way to drive incentives. You can also offer additional classes or bundling classes together or doing live Q&As. Last year, we did a lot of online courses and we sweetened those deals by offering live classes with our online courses. We offered them as new courses. So we told people that, hey, they're new, they're coming out fresh. And because they're coming out fresh, we're going to do some live classes. And by offering it that way, we really kind of created this early adopters or early sign up group of people who could be a part of those programs as well as get a little bit additional support by being able to get a pre recorded online course with live sessions. And then the last group that I love to think about for incentives are waiting list. Has anyone tried waiting list or any of these other ones? Has anyone tried payments, like flexible payments or bonus offers? I'm just curious. Let me know in the chat. But waiting list only kind of approach is so much fun when you're trying to build buzz. This works really well when you have ticket sales or when you're trying to sell something and what you want to do is create that anticipation for when tickets go on sale or certain tickets will be released, especially if you have limited inventory. If you have limited VIP tickets, if you have limited let's say books, maybe you're an author and you're going to sign 50 books. Say you also just have a product that you're launching, it's a brand new product. And instead of just launching it out into the world 2 weeks before, 30 days even before, you could have people sign up for an exclusive waiting list to actually be the first to know about the new product or service coming out, to be able to access limited inventory or a limited number of tickets that are available so they can grab them first, giving people option to maybe see it before the rest of the world sees it. And by giving people that ability to kind of preview it before it's publicly available, people really appreciate it. And the people who really appreciate it are people who've been customers for a long time. Maybe you've had people who've worked with you before. Maybe you've had people who have supported you before. Maybe you have customers that buy from you consistently. And a way for them to buy more or to increase that cart size is to give them an opportunity to join a specific list so that they can get access to items earlier. And the idea is it's just a small perk. We're not trying to keep it from the rest of the world, but what we are trying to do is start communication or interaction with your most engaged people first, because those most engaged people are more likely to buy and also more likely to tell the world about your product or service once they signed up. And this goes the same for services. If you're launching a new coaching program, if you're launching a new coaching methodology, if you're launching a new service to help people, especially even in healthcare or in any type of service where you support people with their lifestyles or transitioning to a vegan diet, this can work well even when you have a service, because the idea of letting people know that I have something new coming out, and especially when a service exists, you often can't coach, you know, 10,000 people. For many of us, we can coach 10 people, 20 people, maybe even a smaller number. Maybe it's five, depending on your program. So the idea of creating that waiting list and get people excited about being a part of that list and in communicating and curating that list can be a great way for when you're ready to launch your new service or program to get people to sign up quickly and also let them know, hey, we only have 10 spots. Just want to let everyone know we're going to go on sale on this date. I'm going to send everyone an email and let you know. And this is a great way to make that happen. Yes, free gifts are good, but free gifts with an offer is one of my favorite things to do for an incentive. So if I'm coaching someone, and say if you were an author, you had a book, I might coach them and then recommend that they get a copy of your book as a coach, as part of their coaching package. If you have an online course and you're coaching someone one-on-one, give them access to an online course that complements your online coaching, because that additional material will make your coaching even that much better and stronger. Plus, people feel the emphasis of being able to get something else. Perfect. Oh, nice. I see you have you've done a waiting list as well, Elisa. The other thing I want to talk about when we talk about discounts is often we always think about the more scenario. We think about how do I get more customers and more people and bring them into the fold. But I think we need to focus on previous customers, previous clients. I think we sometimes neglect the people who've already been loyal, already signed up for our product, and maybe have used what we've had to offer. So I want to remind you when you're thinking about creating those deals and creating these specials, I want you to also make sure that you're thinking about what's an offer specifically for someone who's already been a customer or client. And this may mean that you're going to spin off a small mini program But because this is going to go to previous customers and clients, you'll quickly know if this is going to be a good offering. You'll also be able to work with people who are at the same level. If they've already taken your course, read your book, bought your products, what happens is taking them into this second level or masterclass level or level 2 of your program or of your coaching. What happens is the group can come together, or even an individual, if you decide to do it at an individual level, you can take them deeper or take them kind of to a whole new level of understanding in what you teach by working with people who already have a foundation with you. And often, when you do these types of programs, you don't need a gazillion customers, especially for anyone out there who's coaching and anyone out there who's doing services. This works well. Now, if you offer product, if you physically have product that you send out, what I love to do is come out with kits for existing customers. So, therefore, you have a skincare routine product. Therefore, you have a actual kit that has 2 or 3 or 4 products. That's someone who understands the value of your product, who understands the ingredients that you put in your product, for someone that understands what you have to offer. They know that it's valuable and it's great. So being able to offer to them a kit that's pre-put together that has a nice price point on it, and all they have to do is go and buy it. What happens is a person will often take that leap of faith to go to those new products and go to that new offering because they already love what you've done before. They already love your products before. And for anyone who does tickets, meaning events or classes or anything that's kind of a little bit more of that ticket sale, the other thing I like to do is I like to think about an offer for previous people that are things like all access passes that allows people to either get access to multiple events that you're offering, get access to those VIP level events, or giving people a mix of what you have to offer, whether it's access to your current event or activity. But if you have recordings of previous events, previous presentations, previous cooking classes, you might do a bundle and say, I'm going to give you a ticket for this event this time. But what I also want to do is give you access to a recording of my 3 last events as well, as a bundle, as a way to sweeten the pot, and also to get content that maybe these individuals didn't have access to before that they really would be interested in. So, once again, deepening that relationship. Now, with all these ideas, I always love to give you thoughts, give you things that you could do. But the reality is, it's not just about all the ideas. It's about what are we going to do when? Well, let's put a plan together. Let's get it on paper. So, one thing I want to inspire you or help you think about today is building out a calendar. Now, for some of you, the holidays, you may not think of it as time for you to do promotions, but I'm here to say that everyone should really have a holiday promotion. Let me just, in the comments, how many people are in the chat? How many of you have a holiday plan in place for promotions, discounts, deals? Like, if you thought through, okay, it's October right now. This is what I plan to do in November. This is what I plan to do in December. And this is what I plan to do in January if it's something that's going to be a, relaunch, kickoff, restart of the year, moving into those New Year's resolutions. Okay. So I see one no so far. I'm going to let me know if anyone else is thinking. I'm just curious because it's such a great opportunity right now to do this. Now, you don't have to celebrate every holiday. I don't mean to say you have to have a promotion in place for every single thing. What I just want you to do is have a plan in place for the things that matter. Like I mentioned earlier, those things that are those cornerstones or those key kind of events and activities that are happening, have a promotion for, have an offer for, whether it's a previous client offer, like we talked about before, whether it's an incentive, like we talked about before, or even a discount. I really believe there's such an opportunity with coming up with some type of promotion. Yeah. All right. So there's a comment that talked about free classes. There's a comment talking about, the focus on free and moving people into the funnel. So glad you asked that or made that comment. I'm going to turn that into a question that I'm going to link into this. So what happens for a lot of us is we're using that free option to bring people in. And I love being able to give out free content, free classes, free ebooks, free training. All those things are great. But the challenge is we have to have a process after that to turn someone into a customer. So if you are finding you're in that free track, but you haven't found the paid, what I recommend, and especially as we go into this holiday period, is to think about the next step after the free. So if someone's going to sign up for your free program, get a free trial, get a free anything, what's step number two? What's the product that they should go into? Because yes, we all need funnels. And yes, I shouldn't say we all need funnels. Yes, funnels are good things. Yes, having a whole like mapped out process of, if this, then the customer goes here. If this, then customer goes there. Those are great, but they take time to build. And also you want to build them off of success. So what I tell most people is to start with a three-step process. When you're thinking about building a funnel, when you're thinking about building promotions, or even as we're talking about today for sales and discounts, is to use your free as your initial option. But what you do is either at the end of that free class and or as an email after it, that's when you start your discount. That's when you start your incentive. So that incentive can be bonus or it can be a discount. But the idea is if someone goes to a free class, if they sign up within 48 hours, they should be able to get X% off or be able to lock in a bonus offer. And I would make your offer that simple. Live, bonus offer within 48 hours, email that goes out one day after, email that goes out last chance to sign up, and use that as a model that you rinse and repeat. That's how I would approach it if you're trying to build, at least getting started with adding incentives specifically to a free offer. For the holidays, what I love being able to do is sit down and say, what dates do you want to celebrate? What dates are important? And then mapping out on those dates what promotions. So when you look at a calendar like this, what I'm trying to say is, hey, in November, are we going to do some type of bundle? Are we going to do some type of gift offering? Are we going to do a one-time deep discount? In December, maybe we do a BOGO. Maybe we do a flash sale. In January, am I going to do more programs or challenges? And this document is fairly simple for everyone to set up. So when you walk away from today's webinar, when you think about this webinar later on, think about building something like this. Think about sitting down and saying, what is going to be my offer? Because in that window between like Black Friday and now it's extended to Cyber Week, you have a strong 12 days after kind of the Thanksgiving holiday that can really drive a lot of sales in your business. And since we've all been in this kind of pandemic world, that window has actually opened up even wider. For a lot of people, promotions and even Black Friday deals are going to start like on November 1st. So we're seeing that timeline move up. But because this is mid-October, I want to give everyone a little bit of time to pull these things together. So I don't think there's anything wrong with staying in that traditional window, but I do think it's so important that you put some type of promotion in place. Okay. Now, I know for all of you, you might be like, Stephanie, I wasn't ready for the holiday thing. And I get that. That's okay. I want you to be ready. I want you to take some time. I want you to get used to these ideas. So if you're not ready for that, then I want you to start thinking about a standard promotional process for your business. Because for some of you, maybe you've launched already. You just launched a new product or event. I know someone who's listening today, just launched their event and they're like, I need to figure out how I'm going to do these discounts. And what I want you to do is if you're not ready to do a holiday promotional calendar, then look at your products. Look at the services that you offer. And I'm using this as an example for a class, only because I want to show you what it's like to do a discount when you have a lower ticket item, like a single class, which could be like $25 for a cooking class, versus a cooking class series, which may be multiple classes. Maybe that's going to be $100, $120. Um, excuse me, cooking class series, maybe like $50. And maybe a workshop is going to be $100, where a retreat, maybe a couple of $100. So I just want to show you at these different price point levels how you would discount. And also the idea that when you are planning a launch, any time of the year, even if it's not within the holiday season, it's so important to create this countdown approach. Because what this allows you to do is see what your discount's going to be over time. And by understanding what your discount is over time, you know how early to offer your discount, as well as what happens to some of us is our discount isn't great enough far enough out. So when we get into our last like 7 days, the discount doesn't feel strong enough. Okay, Sean, I'll see you later. Um, so I completely understand that. You may be like, ugh, I don't have enough time. But what I want you to do is I want you to think about what and how you want to discount. Now, I'm using percentages here. You can change this into incentives or bonus offers or any of those options. I'm just showing you this as a way to kind of demonstrate how you build this type of approach. But what I love to do is sit down and say 45 days out, 30 days out, 15 days out, 7 days out. What are my promotions? What are my promotions based on the actual products that I sell? And like an example here, we're talking about classes up to retreats. If you sell something different, maybe these are different single products all the way up to bundles. Maybe if you're a coach, this is for your hourly coaching rate all the way up to your big 6 month, 12-month coaching packages. And you just create that list here on the left-hand side. And then what you do is you walk down through that price and say, if it's 45 days between from when I want people to sign up, what do I want to do? Do I want to give people a 30% discount? Do I want to do a bundle offer with a book? Do I want to give people a bring a friend type of discount? Then 30 days, 15 days, 7 days. The other reason you want to do this is what happens sometimes when we do discounting is we discount too heavily in the end and not the beginning. And what happens is our early adopters get a little frustrated because they feel like they purchased your product, they signed up for your program, they decided to commit 45 days early, maybe even 60 days early. But if they don't get the best discount, what you'll do is you'll create a process where everyone will feel like I should wait to the last minute to get my best deal. And what I want you to do is turn that the other way around. I want you to encourage people to be early adopters. I want you to incent people to act in the beginning or way before a launch, way before an event, or like we talked about, maybe that waiting list group. Maybe your waiting list group is able to sign up 45 days in advance and they get a discount. By signing up early, they get a bigger discount than if anybody waits until launch day. And this is a way that you can help people not only get deals, but get deals that work for you as well. Because for many of us, especially if you're doing events or tickets or classes, you don't want everyone to sign up 7 days before. It's like nerve wracking to be like, oh my goodness, are they going to sign up? What's going on? So, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you spread out that curve. And by spreading out your sales over 45 days, 60 days, what you can now do is have some consistent revenue coming in during a promotion leading up to an event. Or even if you have a coaching business and you're coming out with something new, the idea is if you're going to release it on X date, if you can get people to sign up early to your program, to your course, or whatever item that you're selling, you'll understand interest levels early on so that people aren't waiting for the discount. People actually get rewarded with a discount by acting early. Does that make sense to everyone? What do you guys think? Have you ever done like this countdown to look at what your discounts would be over a specific period of time? While you guys are answering that, I'm going to talk about the benefits and consequences of discounts because I want to encourage more and more of you to consider incentives, but I also don't want to say that discounts are bad. Discounts can be great. Discounts can work really well. The challenge is when it comes to discounts, when it comes to these items, we have to know how many people do we really want to sign up at that discounted rate? What is our strategy around that? Are we trying to get 5 people to sign up, 5 students for this retreat? Are we trying to get 20 people to sign up? Maybe if you're more of a retail business or transactional business, are we trying to get your first 100, your first 200? If you're in a smaller business or service-based business, maybe it's your first 5 or 10. Depending on your business size, this number will be different. But the question is, how many people do you want to sign up? And what I always tell people to do before you do any discount is calculate out the revenue loss. Because we want to make sure that that revenue that you lost was worth the revenue that you pulled in early. And to do that, you have to really sit down and say, if I have that countdown, like I just did for you, where I said, okay, 45 days is 20%, 30 days is 15%, 15 days is 10%, then what we can literally do is say, okay, 45 days out, if I get 5 people to sign up, yes, I get 800, but I do have a 200 revenue loss. But if I only have about 5 people, and most people are going to go five, 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 and then I know most of my people are going to be in that last 7 days, my revenue loss for these, 15 days in advance is my 200 plus 150 plus 100. And you may say, that makes sense because I may be taking this loss, but I'm receiving this revenue 15 days before my event, 15 days before my launch, 15 days before I release my new product or through pre-orders. And the idea of getting this revenue sooner rather than later may be a huge benefit for you. And also, what's great about this is you can stop your discounts at 15 days out so that the full price does kick in those last days. And as we all know, people always sign up late. People always love to sign up at the very, very, very last minute. So you will still achieve the revenue that you need, especially, let's say for this retreat, you're looking for 40 people. Having your first 15 be discounted but the remaining are going to be at that full price, may make the financial revenue lost here really be smart because what it's doing is giving you that revenue, but also still getting you in at that full price. I hope that makes sense for everyone. I hope that helps. Oh, I appreciate it. I understand if you have to go at 3 o'clock. No worries. All right. I'm going to Let's see here. I didn't realize I had more slides than I actually had planned today. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk through these in like 1 minute, these last 3 tips really fast. Because I want to make sure for my group that's in Zoom, I want to make sure I can answer any of your questions, any of your one-on-one questions. So one thing is if you have a question, please drop it in Zoom because I'm going to jump over there within, let's say, 3 minutes or less so we can jump on camera and I can answer any of your questions. And for everyone who's watching this either live or through our social media channels, if you have a question, please, please, please post it now so I can take a peek at it and make sure I answer it. All right. So here is the deal. When you're doing discounts, one thing I want you to do is create dedicated pages, especially during the holidays. It's so important, especially if you're going to have a discount for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the last few days. What tends to happen is we put a lot of the deals or the discounts on the product pages. But what I find during the holiday season, it's great to have one central page that shows all of your discounts. On that page, you can put a countdown timer on there, which will help with urgency so people know when they have to purchase that deal by. The other thing that I love being able to do during the holiday with a dedicated page is you can use the same link in all of your promotions. So even though your promotion's changing from Black Friday to Cyber Monday to the first weekend Tuesday to even post-holiday promotions. Maybe you're doing something for Kwanzaa, or maybe you're doing something, after Christmas holiday or something like that. By having one central link that lists all of your holiday deals, you can change that page around. And what can happen is you can just keep reusing that link so that your promotions don't get too complicated and too much going on. The other thing I love to do is use social media for holiday deals. This is really great if you have a very active social media account. Anything on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn is not as great for this. This works also on Twitter, but for a lot of businesses that are high transaction businesses or ticket sales, if you have the engagement, hosting a day or having a day where you have hourly deals. Now, I don't mean you're going to have 24 hours of deals because I don't want you up all night. But being able to say, hey, we're going to do hourly deals between, 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and every hour we're going to have a different deal. This is really great way to keep people glued to your social media account, to get people anticipating it. Also, on a social media account that does these hourly deals, it's very natural for people to share those deals in real time. So, what you can see is really a bump in a sales campaign by doing something fun and specific, especially during this holiday season. The other thing is use live streaming shows, kind of that like QVC style, where you're showing your products, showing your service, talking about your service, interviewing customers, interviewing clients. Amazon did a lot of this last year, especially with the pandemic, since people weren't getting out. And it was a great way for people to almost feel like they were watching a little bit of TV and they were learning more and more about your product, your businesses, and your brands. The other thing is use your website as a tool. For a lot of us, when we think about promotions, we think about the sales page or the landing page, but it's wonderful to have welcome bars at the top of your page, to have those scroll boxes that pop up. I have an example here where you get that like 15% off your first offer. A lot of people do that on their site, but they forget to change that for the holidays and offer different deals or different mixes. So during Black Friday, during Cyber Week, and so forth, change up that pop up. Or if you've never done that before, and maybe you just have a coaching business or a service that you offer, think about using these pop ups as ways to incent people or encourage people to sign up, letting people know you have a 48-hour deal or a flash deal or flash option. Also, if you have a blog that's heavily read, make sure you have those pop ups because the pop ups are much easier to add to your site so that you can answer, so that people are aware of them. All right. I have a ton more slides as always, but I'm going to have to leave everyone. I'm going to have to leave it there for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to make sure I answer your questions. Number two, I think I've given you a lot of stuff to noodle on and think about. So, what I want to do at this point is tell you to get started, to build that calendar, to think about what your promotion is going to be, and to create kind of a list, no matter what kind of business you're in, whether you're a coach, instructor, writer, designer, professional services, podcaster, physical product, events. Sit down and create a list of what your deals will be. Sit down and think about how you would like to promote your product. Sit down and think about how you would like to help people with a deal and what that deal would look like for your products or services, because that's going to be how you start to not just think about how do I discount, but literally think about those incentives that we've been talking about and also thinking about how you're going to showcase it, like through pop ups and header bars and deals pages. Because by bringing together all these features and these options, what you can start to do is get ahead of discounts and also find a great way to offer to your audience and offer to your community a way for them to access your products and services and be incentivized to do it. So, with that, we're going to wrap up today's webinar. For my folks on social media, thank you so much for joining. For my folks in Zoom, if you don't have any questions, no worries. I'm seeing people don't have any questions. I'm hoping this session has been helpful. I'm hoping this session has been a little bit inspirational. I'm hoping the session has given you some ideas as well. So we're going to drop off on social media. I'm going to come into our Zoom session. So if you want to hang out for a few minutes and let me answer your questions, I will be there for a few minutes, but I'll see everyone later on social media.